Hey y'all, big news this week is Microsoft acquiring ABK, picking up gaming IPs like Overwatch, Diablo, StarCraft, Warcraft, erstwhile PlayStation mascots like Crash and Spyro, and mobile juggernaut Candy Crush. Yeah, and Call of Duty. This is sending ripples throughout the industry, and not just our industry, but tech in general, because not only is this the biggest acquisition in gaming, this is the biggest acquisition Microsoft has ever made. There's been a lot of noise and speculation this week trying to paint this completely positive or totally negative. Either Xbox is saving ABK from itself, or Microsoft has taken its first step in bending all of gaming to its will, trying to cover the land in death and darkness, and half-finished COD titles, and Halo games with ill-thought-out progression systems. I think the truth is a little more nuanced. It's a complex situation. Is this good or bad for gaming? Who knows? I'm kind of torn on this. I have mixed feelings. I'm not so sure that 30 studios constitutes a monopoly. On the other hand, it's potentially concerning, and Microsoft is gobbling up major IPs at an incredible clip. While this will affect every major player in gaming, a lot of attention is on Sony and on PlayStation because Call of Duty has long been a sales chart topper year after year. And it will likely hurt PlayStation's bottom line if Call of Duty goes exclusive to Xbox PC. Are Call of Duty's days on PlayStation numbered? Who knows? Well, probably Phil Spencer and Satya, Sarah Bond. There's some people know. We don't. Probably dozens of people. There's probably dozens of people that know whether or not Call of Duty is going to continue on PlayStation. But I'm not one of them. And if you're watching this, you probably aren't either. While the earlier ZeniMax acquisition led to future titles from studios like Bethesda and Arcane being announced as Xbox PC exclusive, COD may be a different case. Xbox is seeking to bolster Game Pass with titles and make the subscription service more and more attractive to players on different platforms. I don't know that the goal is for Xbox to bludgeon PlayStation with the incredibly weighty wallet of Microsoft while Sony clutches a Spider-Man doll in the corner. Microsoft likely has no interest in potentially alienating Sony, a major cloud partner, by being too aggressive with their gaming division. A few years back, Microsoft and Sony agreed on a memorandum of understanding to explore cloud gaming experiences jointly. This included utilizing Sony's expertise with semiconductors and Microsoft's knowledge of AI to explore and research new experiences and technologies. So maybe Microsoft continues to release Call of Duty on PlayStation for fear of pushing Sony into the arms of AWS or Google Cloud. Microsoft has stated many times that they see companies like Facebook, Meta, Amazon, Google, Netflix as their competition. They're in a war for content. And after the last few years and the growth in gaming, these big tech companies are looking at the industry very closely. I think this plays against the conjecture we're hearing that Game Pass might come to PlayStation for a couple of reasons. One, why would Sony and Microsoft partner on a Azure cloud gaming experience that will be exclusive to Sony, only to turn around and try to force Sony to accept Game Pass on their system? And number two, I don't know that it makes financial sense for either company. While Xbox is prioritizing subscriber growth, the whole point of the subscription is to get people to spend money in their ecosystem. If Game Pass comes to PlayStation, not only do they lose a cut of microtransactions and additional sales they might have had in their platform, but PlayStation becomes the only console worth considering because you would get Game Pass and all of the amazing PlayStation exclusives. Likewise, it doesn't make sense for PlayStation to accept a cut of a subscription that will cannibalize the money they're able to make through third-party sales. It just doesn't seem to make sense for either company. So, look, while nothing's impossible and the landscape could look drastically different midway through or at the end of this current generation, right now, no, I don't think Game Pass is coming to PlayStation. I think Microsoft sees Sony as a valuable Azure cloud partner, and they're fine with the continuation of competition between their respective gaming divisions. What I think Microsoft doesn't want is to compete with a Sony that is using, for example, a white-labeled Google Stadia to come after xCloud and Game Pass. So yeah, I think there's a good chance that Call of Duty will come to Game Pass day one, but continue to release on PlayStation for $60 to $70 retail. I think this adds a competitive advantage for Xbox in gaming without hamstringing Sony to the point where their partnership with Microsoft in the cloud space is jeopardized. I think Microsoft might be envisioning a future where cloud gaming exists with Game Pass next to Sony and Nintendo's cloud offerings on the Azure cloud, similar to how Spotify and Netflix exist next to Apple TV and Apple Music on Apple's iOS. I'm not saying that's good or bad for the future of gaming, but rather that thinking about this in the short term of who sells more consoles in the next few years or over the entire course of the generation, it's not the way that Microsoft or Sony are thinking about this. These are companies with long-term strategies who are looking to the future. And right now, it seems like cloud gaming is the future. All right, I'll be back next week with more gaming news. Good games, y'all. Fight, fight, fight.